You're not limited to the herd-following tour bus anymore. Welcome to Empty Nester Cruising, where we help couples like you trade travel stress for serenity. Today we're diving into one of the most crucial decisions you'll make for your cruise vacation: how to explore each port of call. After decades of family vacations where flexibility was often sacrificed for convenience, this new chapter of travel offers you something precious: choice. Your only option was to follow a cruise organized tour with 40 other passengers are long gone. I've helped hundreds of empty nester couples navigate these choices, and I've learned that the right approach to shore excursions can transform a good cruise into an unforgettable journey. Whether you're planning your first cruise or your 15th, understanding the pros and cons of each shore excursion option will help you create experiences that reflect what matters most to you now. So let's start by understanding your three main options for exploring ports of call. Cruise line excursions, organized and vetted by the cruise company. Groups typically range from 20 to 50 people, booked directly through your cruise line. You usually meet on the ship or right on the dock, where the ship is, and then you depart together. Private guide services, local experts or specialized tour companies. Groups typically range from 2 to 12 people, booked independently online before your cruise. Usually meet at a designated spot in port. Or DIY exploration, self-guided adventures you plan yourself, just you and your travel companions. Requires research and planning ahead of time, complete freedom to follow your interests. Each approach offers distinct advantages and potential drawbacks. The key is matching the right option to each port based on your specific interest, comfort level, and what you want to experience. So let's start with the most straightforward option: booking through the cruise line. Advantages: peace of mind. The ship won't leave without you if your tour runs late. Vetted operators. Cruise lines thoroughly screen their tour operators before they ever put them in front of a passenger. Convenience: one-stop booking through your cruise account. Accessibility information, very clear details about physical requirements. Simplified planning. Descriptions and difficulty levels clearly outlined. The disadvantages: higher prices. Expected to pay 20 to 40% more than independent options. Larger groups, often 30, 40 people following the exact same schedule. Limited flexibility. They're fixed itineraries with predetermined stops. Most of the times it's the tourist traps. Some include shopping stops at partner locations, rushed experiences. Many try to cover too much in limited time. I can remember a couple I worked with, both history professors, who booked a cruise line excursion to Ephesus in Turkey. While the tour hit all the major sites, they felt very frustrated by the limited time at each location and the shopping stop at a carpet factory they hadn't expected. The experience taught them to read the fine print and ask more questions before booking cruise excursions. The second option, private guides and specialized tour companies, often represent the sweet spot for many empty nesters. Some of the advantages: smaller groups, more personal attention and less waiting. Local expertise, guides who live in the destination year-round. Customization, ability to focus on your specific interests. Better value, often 20 to 30% less expensive than cruise line options. Authentic experiences, access to places larger groups can't visit. Now let's talk about disadvantages. Research is required for these. You need to vet the companies and read the reviews yourself. Timing risks, no guarantee the ship will wait for you if you're delayed. Varying quality, standards and professionalism can differ widely. Payment up front, most require advanced booking and payment. Meeting logistics, you'll need to find your guide in a potentially very busy port. One of my favorite success stories involves a couple celebrating their 35th anniversary in the Mediterranean. Instead of the cruise line standard Athens tour, they booked a private food-based walking tour with a local chef. The experience included visits to neighborhood markets, tastings at family-owned shops, and stories about Greek culinary traditions that they still talk about years later. This middle option often delivers the best combination of security, personalization, and value, especially when you select it thoughtfully. The third approach, doing it yourself, offers the greatest freedom, but requires the most preparation. The advantages: complete control. You go where you want, when you want. Authentic connections, the opportunities to meet the locals on your terms. Budget flexibility, you can spend as much or as little as you choose. Serendipity, room for those unexpected discoveries. Perfect for simple ports, ideal for walkable cities or beach destinations. Disadvantages: research essential, requires significant pre-trip planning. Navigation challenges, finding your way in unfamiliar places. Language barriers, potential communication issues. Time management, again, you're responsible for returning to the ship on time. Missing context, no guide to provide historical or cultural insights. I worked with a couple who had been to Barcelona several times and decided to explore on their own during their cruise stop. They researched transportation options in advance, downloaded offline maps, and focused on a single neighborhood they hadn't explored before. They had a wonderful, wonderful day, discovering local cafes, small art galleries at their own pace. But this approach worked because they had done their homework and set realistic expectations. DIY exploration can be deeply rewarding in the right circumstances, but it's not the best choice for every port or every traveler. Now that we kind of understand the options, how do you decide which approach is right for each port on your itinerary? So here's 5 factors to consider. Number 1, port complexity. Consider cruise line or private tours for destinations with challenging logistics, limited time, or long distances to attractions. Think Rome from Civitavecchia, Bangkok from Laem Chabang. Simple ports. Do-it-yourself often works well for walkable cities, beach destinations, or small islands. Think Key West, Mykonos, or Cozumel. Your experience level. First-time cruisers, stick with the cruise line excursions because they provide a good overview of major highlights. Return visitors. Private guides can show you those hidden gems beyond the tourist sites. Experienced travelers, do-it-yourself exploration allows you to focus on specific interests. Number 3, physical considerations. Mobility concerns. Cruise line excursions clearly state the physical requirements. Energy conservation. Private tours can often accommodate a more relaxed pace. Active preferences. Do-it-yourself allows you to walk as much or as little as you want. Number 4, special interests. Specific passions. Private guides can tailor experiences to your interests. Think wine, art, history, cultural immersion. Local guides often provide more authentic cultural context. Photography. Do-it-yourself allows unlimited time at those photogenic locations. And then number 5, port duration. If it's a short stop, say 4 to 5 hours, stick with the organized options to maximize that limited time. Longer stops, 8 or more hours. Consider do-it-yourself for part of the day or more in-depth experiences. The best itineraries often mix approaches, perhaps a cruise line tour in a complex port like St. Petersburg, a private food tour in Barcelona, and a do-it-yourself beach day in the Caribbean. I'm going to share some real-life experiences that illustrate the impact of choosing that right approach. The success story. A couple celebrating their 40th anniversary wanted something special in Santorini. Instead of the cruise line standard tour, they booked a private guide who took them to a family-owned winery with spectacular caldera views, followed by lunch in a village most tourists never visit. The experience became the highlight of their entire cruise, worth every penny of the premium they paid for that personalization. The lesson learned. Another couple decided to explore Rome on their own, armed with guidebooks and enthusiasm. They didn't research transportation times from the port and spent nearly half their day just getting to and from the city. They saw the Colosseum but felt rushed and stressed throughout the entire day. The lesson. Sometimes paying for expertise saves not just hassle, but precious time in port. The surprise winner. One of my clients booked a simple cruise line walking tour in Stockholm, expecting a basic overview. The guide turned out to be a passionate local historian who brought the city to life with personal stories and hidden courtyards not on the typical tourist path. The reminder, sometimes standard options deliver unexpected magic. The perfect shore excursion isn't about following the crowd or even finding the best deal. It's about creating meaningful experiences that match your interest, your pace, and this chapter of your life. At Empty Nester Getaways, we believe your time in port should be as thoughtfully designed as the rest of your cruise experience. We take the time to understand what matters most to you, then help you select the right approach for each destination. Whether that's a well-chosen cruise excursion, a specially curated private experience, or a self-guided adventure we help you plan. Because after decades of vacations planned around everyone else's needs, isn't it time your travel experiences were tailored to you? Visit EmptyNesterGetaways.com to learn how we can help you trade shore excursion stress for meaningful, memorable experiences in every port of call. Until next time, happy cruising and even happier exploring.